Hello, 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 hello. Hi everybody. As you guys can see, I'm still in the Christmas spirit. Well, the holiday spirit. I won't just say Christmas, the holiday spirit, because I got my little Santa hat on. And I am here trying to drop these videos for y'all and get things situated and get things together because we don't have time to play. All right, so if you're new to my channel, make sure you go like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are a new visitor to Operation Hill 100 Hearts YouTube channel, make sure you go like, comment, share, and more importantly, subscribe. Subscribe. Word on the curb is, my content can be prevalent to other folks. And if you feel like some of my content may resonate with somebody who you're close to, you have a relationship with, so on and so forth, please feel free to go like, comment, share, more importantly, subscribe. I know my other video came across a little low, ladies and gentlemen, so I wanted to make sure this time the volume was up and things were blinking and clicking so you could hear me well. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think what the issue is too is that I had the volume down on my computer, but I had it down because sometimes when I get notifications, you can hear it on the computer, right? So, okay, let's move forward. If you're a new visitor to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, share. That's it, right? I know what I owe you guys. I know what you're all waiting for. I know what y'all got smoke with me about. I know where the issues lie. Is that I owe you guys a dear Deja. I owe you guys a dear Deja. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to put on my glasses to read this Dear Deja because sometimes my behind can't see and I'm reading it off my phone because I'm recording off my computer. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Loving the black, red, and white, the black shirt with the red and white hat with the black, red, and white Hill and Hearts logo in the back. Y'all see me, y'all hating on me. What's going on outside? Anyway, let's get into reading this Dear Deja video, right? Oh, my glasses make me look just like my mom. Anywho, Dear Deja, it's an email, it's on my phone. Yeah, I can't see off the computer. Dear Deja, I am a 30-year-old woman who has been in a relationship with a man for 4 years, living together for 2. My man has 3 children prior to our relationship, who I have a cordial, respectful, and semi-close relationship with. Added bonus is there's no baby mama drama. My man recently found out that his kid's mother is moving to another state and wants to take his children with. He has 3 sons, 15, 12, and 8, in which he's been a dedicated and involved parent since I met him. My man is not against his baby mother's relocation, but he's made it abundantly clear that she cannot take his sons with her. Mom agreed to give my man, well, let me rephrase that, their dad, custody, which means that they will be coming to live with us. To be honest, I think I should end this relationship. I like his kids. I think he's a great dad, and we have a great relationship. But the honest part of me must say I'm not ready to play mom to 3 kids that I did not give birth to. This is hard. Tell me what you think. Sign, man, fuck them kids. Or my feelings. Okay, girl, you was a piece of work with your signature. Fuck them kids. Or your feelings. Okay, before I proceed to respond to my homegirl right here letter, let's take a sip. Let's take a sip. But of course, I am having Blue Dot Ciroc with a splash of cranberry and lemon. I will be detoxing at the end of this week because my birthday isn't less than 7 weeks until DHB Day 2 until. But I digress. In any event, back to my homegirl and this letter. Okay. Let me start off by saying this, right? I am a woman in a relationship with a man who has children prior to our relationship, right? Now, initially, when I met my boyfriend, the Pookster, I was made well aware that he has children and he takes his parenting role incredibly serious, right? And I mean incredibly serious. Like there's nothing that trumps my boyfriend's children, not even the lovely Khadijah, which I totally understand and respect because my dad had children prior to him and my mom's relationship, and nothing, not even a relationship between him and my mom, trumped his role as being a father for my two older sisters, right? So I get it. I get it. I'm a little familiar with that, and it didn't bother me none per se because I have experience in that field. But just thinking along the lines of kind of what you shared in the letter, I just want to kind of point some things out, right? Now, you did say, I think you said you guys lived together for 4 years. I mean, you've been in a relationship for 4 years and you've been together for two, which of course means the children were there prior to the relationship. I have to ask, when you met this gentleman, did he share with you from the gate that he had children? Which I feel like he did because you said that he's been a phenomenal father since you've met him. So since you, I guess, known him, you've gotten to see how he is as a dad. And in your opinion, he's a really, really good dad. I feel like a lot of times when folks say that people are really, really good parents from outside looking in, is because they're there observing their behaviors and actions and, in what regard they hold their children. Right? So if you feel like that's your honest opinion that he's an excellent dad since the inception of your friend, since the inception of your relationship, then you should have factored that in when you first met him and you guys decided to embark on a relationship. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't meet folks and just say, hey, we go together today. It takes some time. It takes some getting to know. It takes some finding things out. It takes some seeing folks in different facets for you to know, like, oh, I'm going to take this serious and we're going to get together and be in a relationship. So I think that, if I'm not mistaken, he made it clear from the door that he is a father and he takes being a father very seriously, right? At that point, when you guys got into a relationship, and it doesn't sound as though you have any birth children, and you were made aware that he had children, did you start to think about his role as a parent? Because normally, right, when you're dating, I'm sorry, you guys, I have this on two different things. Normally, when you're dating someone or you start to take someone serious that you're dating, and you realize that they have a predicament, aka a situation, which could mean that they're a father that's assuming, or a parent, because if you're the dad, assuming responsibility for a child or children, then you have to factor that in if you're going to be a part of this person's life. Because if they're a parent, 99.9% of the time, if not 100, the children are going to be a permanent fixture and factor in the parent's life. And if you're trying to make yourself a permanent fixture or factor in that person's life, you have to factor in that the children will become a permanent fixture and factor in your life as well. And that means that if, God forbid, something happened to their dad and you're in a serious relationship with their dad and you're maybe in charge of the dad's care or anything of that nature, the children would still want to see the dad and correspond with the dad, even though he's not in the best health. You would be corresponding with their mom and with those children in order to coordinate that happening. You know what I'm saying? So there's just certain things to factor in about being a girlfriend in a relationship with a man who has a child or children, right? Now, my other piece about it is, it sounds like these young men are, if they're not nearing teenage stage, they're already teenagers, right? And in my experience, I've seen a lot of men, including my own boyfriend, have conversations about, when young men are getting to a certain age and they are residing in a household with their mom as a custodial parent, dads kind of almost feel like after a certain age, the young man should come stay with their dad because there's just certain things that need to be exemplified and in front of the young man that mom may not be able to showcase. And whereas dad, being a man, could kind of guide the way and put that young man on the path to what it looks like to be a man. Whereas mom, and it's unintentionally, she's just being a woman, couldn't do what a dad could do, which is a man, right? And I know that folks are going to disagree with some of what I just said. Me personally, my opinion on that is not going to waver. I feel like if you're a young girl, you need female influence around, preferably the woman that gave birth to you, but sometimes the circumstances don't permit. But you definitely need an abundance of female energy and examples around you, and the same thing goes for a male, because it kind of sets the stage and kind of gives you a template to how to look at what you're going to become. And I think we can see that already happening, because if, let's just say, a young lady grows up in a household with predominantly male figures, and she doesn't have a heavy female presence outside that household that she can, that can kind of lead by example for her, a lot of her behaviors and actions will be more male centered because that's who she's around, right? So I think for men, I get that if my son is hitting puberty, or he's at the stage where he's dating, or he's at the stage where, he's a young adult and he's trying to walk into his manhood, I think if I was a father, I would want to be front and center for that, so I can show you what that looks like and help guide you in the right direction. Whereas mom, she's not a man. She doesn't know what it's like to be a man, so she can't give you all the tools that you may need in order to help facilitate that, right? So I get why that dad would be saying, hey, my son's is of a certain age and they need to come stay with me. And I think it says a lot about the relationship that the mom and your boyfriend have, because it sounds like there's an elite level of trust there. And even before I get to her having some level of trust for you, because I believe she does, but you can tell she has an elite level for the dad, because not only am I trusting you and I'm leaving all of my children with you, but I'm also trusting that the lady that you chose would be okay for my children to live in the same household with. So I think that speaks volumes about the mother of the children. I think that speaks volumes about the dad and their relationship. I like that. That's a good look for me, right? As far as you go, I honestly love how honest you were about your feelings towards those young men living with you, because I think if you're not honest about your feelings and those are your genuine feelings, eventually those feelings will surface and they will play out in front of the children and the dad, and all four of them will be looking at you like, bitch, are you on cocaine? Because you're acting like a nut when you initially said that, hey, I'm okay with this is great, this is fine, this is grand. And now that these folks are here, you're treating them like outsiders because they're not children that you gave birth to. Okay, so I'll tell you what I think might need to happen initially, and these are some things that you can initiate to kind of, help everybody feel okay with this situation if it's possible. Number one of the things that I heard you say was you guys have like a cordial. Let me read it verbatim. I'm sorry. Let me read it verbatim. It seems like you guys have a cordial, respectful, and semi-close relationship. Um, I feel like the cordial, respectful, and semi-close part of it is the reason why you have some apprehension about it, because you might feel like we're not that close, we're only halfway close, and I'm only cordial. I'm not really invested too much, into their life. And I think that kind of makes you nervous, because if you're going to live here with us, then I would have to be invested in 100%, and I would have to shift that semi-close to all the way close in order for this situation to work. And homegirl, this is just me outside looking in, and from what you expressed in your letter, because that's all I got about the situation. I don't get the impression that you want it to be anything more than cordial, semi-close, and respectful, because um I think if you did, it would be more emphasis on you kind of strengthening the relationship that you have with his sons as opposed to hearing what the situation could possibly become and jumping ship. If I was sitting in front of you, I would have a few questions about this. If this was an Operation Heal 100 Heart session, I would have a few questions about the ship jumping. Because if you and this man have a good relationship and you see or want a future with this man and you're familiar, move, and you're familiar with his children, where is the passion and the initiative to build more than a semi relationship or a semi close relationship? Where is the passionate initiative to build something more than that, to strengthen that, to say, hey, I really, really want to, cement myself and become a staple in your children's life because, I'm trying to be around for forever with you. And I know they're going to be around forever with you. So what's important to you, boo, is important to me, which is your children. And also, you know what I had to learn about that too, because I don't think that just happens automatically like that, right? I don't think that, and I'm just saying this from a stepmother's perspective. I don't think that just because my boyfriend loves his son so much that would make me automatically love his son. What it made me do was have admiration for him because of the relationship he shares with his son. But I had to get to know his son on my own. I had to get to know his son on my own. I'm not a person that's going to make false statements, right? So I'm not going to just say, well, I love your father, so that's what makes me love you. Because then if me and dad broke up, what would happen with me and son? Would it be like I never met him? Would it be like he never existed? You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I couldn't wrap my mind around only wanting to have anything with the young person because of what I felt with the dad. No, I took the initiative of getting to know my boyfriend's son on my own to see if he is someone that I can grow to love. Because I'm with his dad and I'm trying to have a future with his dad, and this person is going to be around whether I'm around or not. So since I want to be around, let me see if it's realistic for me to be around this young person, aside from me being in a relationship with his dad. And what I came to learn about that is you will get to know if you like or dislike, or if you can be close or not close with the young people, regardless of what you share with the father. And it seems like here, and I don't know if you shared your age, but I kind of get the impression that it gives me like you're young. And I feel like you walked into this situation like maybe carefree. You don't have any children of your own. You just want to be lit with him. You knew he had kids, but they lived with the baby mother, so that kind of wasn't really your responsibility. And now when the going gets tough and the tough is getting the going, you pretty much want to jump ship. So before we even get to the children, I have to go back and ask, do you really see a future with the dad? If you do see a future with the dad, is there stipulations on what that future would look like? If there are stipulations, have you expressed that to the dad? Like, case in point, did you say to him, like, oh, I don't have no problem with you having kids and I don't mind dating you if you have kids, but I'm not into raising nobody else's kids? Like, were these some of the things that you shared with dad initially? Because I think if he was aware that there was some apprehension about y'all still being together, if his children came to live with you, he would never even try to build a future with you because his kids are going to trump you every single time. So the reality of the situation is, first steps is identifying how you genuinely feel. It's identifying how you genuinely feel. One, do you see a future with this man? Two, if you do, are there stipulations within um, the vision for the future? If there is, have you shared those stipulations with him? If you have, What was his feedback? Was he in compliance? What was your plan? That's first off. Second off, if you do see a future with this man, um, do you have the wherewithal and the motivation to build a relationship that is more than semi close with his three sons? Because to be honest, God is so good. It was not challenging for me, because I'm good at making assessments. So once I learned the young person, then I said, oh, okay, I see what has to happen here. Like case in point, my stepson, he's not at all introverted. He's not at all shy, but he's also very low key. So he's not a person that's gonna call me every day and check on me every minute, because he's really like laid back. But if I reach out to him and say, hey, boo, you good? I ain't heard from you in a while. He'll reach out back and we'll have dialogue. And when he's here with me, we have excellent dialogue. We've had dialogue with just me and him. I've been left alone with him. We've talked. We bugged out. We laughed. We joked. I kind of got into what his interests are. If I see something I think that's funny, I'll send it to him in text. We talk about, we exchange very, very beautiful and cordial and heartfelt messages when we have special occasions, and we are in a really, really good space. And initially, when I got with my boyfriend and I was introduced to his son formally as his girlfriend, his son is very, very, very low. So initially, I was like, "What, does he like me?" Because ain't really saying nothing. He's just chilling, and I have a very extroverted personality. But that's just because he's just Lambo low. It had nothing to do with me personally. He's just Lambo low. It is who he is. Once you allow him to be who he is, he's chilling and everything is going well. So there has to be some passion there on your part to say, I want to build something with these young people because I want to be a part of their life. And that has to be independent of the relationship that you have with the dad. Now, granted, it can be initiated because of the relationship you have with the dad, but that rapport between the two of you has to be solid no matter what the situation is with you and dad. Because if not, it's not genuine. So what would end up happening is you would love dad to death, but the moment you and dad fall out, it would be like you said in the signature of your letter. Them kids. Ciao. I'm here to tell you, if you dating a man that's anything like mine, you better not even think it. You better not even think it. You better not even think it. Because the moment that the thought enters your mind about your spouse's children, anything other than pleasant and loving thoughts, that's not the spouse for you. That's not the spouse for you, because you can fuck around and lose your life if you play with somebody's kids. So you definitely don't want to put yourself in a predicament where you're only building something with the young people because of the relationship with their dad. Because if and when that relationship is in a bad place or goes sour or anything, you're going to kind of feel like them kids. And that's not going to go well at all for anybody, you, the kids, or the daddy. So if you do see a future with the dad, you have to genuinely feel it in your heart to want to build something with those young people, and you have to make the effort to do so, right? So that's two. A caveat of that is, let's just say that it's three of them. So maybe you don't like one. Maybe one doesn't like you. Maybe it's more desire for one of them and not the other two. Like, you have to really be transparent with yourself about what that's about. And if I'm being transparent with you, I think you've already kind of made the decision in your mind what that's about. That's why you're willing to jump ship. And I'm not going to say you're willing to jump ship because you dislike the children or you don't want to get to know them. But I do feel like you really don't have the desire and passion to be invested in helping co-parent, because when the proposition was brought up to you that the young people would be coming to live, you said you think you need to lead a man. So I have a lot of pineapples. I make a lot of fruits, drinks. I have a lot of pineapples. And I have a fruit fly that's getting on my goddamn nerves right now. But anywho, stupid ass. I'm in the ghetto. Anyway, so back to my homegirl, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, so that's part of it, right? That's part of it. And then there's also what I think could be taking place, and it's fair to say this too, and you can write me back or come in for a healing heart session, which I prefer, to let me know if this is the case. There also could be a healthy fear walking into this becoming a step parent, because it's one thing to be a step parent from a distance and you see the kid uh, every weekend or for holidays. It's another level of step parenting when the children have to live with you. So it could be also that maybe you like dad and maybe you even like the kids and they like you, but maybe the fear is setting in that, oh shoot, I might really actually be like a real parent if they come and live with us and I'm not ready for that. And again, if that's the case and you do have that healthy fear, it's nothing wrong with that. But I think you need to communicate that to your spouse, because there may be ways that dad could kind of ease that fear and kind of navigate what this looks like for you and them, so you're not as scared and nervous and it's a smooth pace. But if you don't communicate any of this with dad and then you just clip dad, I don't know. If I was dad, I would feel away. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I would feel away. If I was dad, I would feel away. I would feel like I've been in a relationship with you for 4 years. I've been living with you for two, and it was all good when it was the romp and shop, and it was the romp and shop, and it was just me and you. But when I'm trying to open up another part of my life to you, which is my children, the most precious and valuable thing that I have, you would turn around and tell me, I ain't with this, so I gotta roll. Even if dad respects your honesty, he would still feel a way towards you. What was we doing here all this time? What was this about? You didn't think that at some point my children will become a permanent fixture within my household? They're my children. So I don't know, homegirl. I don't know. I don't know. I think you have a lot of inward work to do. I think you have a lot of inward work to do. I think this is not about the dad. I don't think this is about the children. I think this is about you. I think this is about you. I also think there may be some trauma there surrounding parenting and children and responsibility and the seriousness of the relationship when the children are incorporated into it on a permanent basis. I think there's some inward work that needs to be done. But the beauty of the inward work that needs to be done, that's what Operation Heal 100 Hearts is here for. Bullets! I'm here to help you do the inward work. So if I assist you in doing the work on you, you can make a decision that benefits everybody, especially and including you, about this situation. So, girl, come on down, hit me up, come get your Healing Hearts one-on-one session. I'm here, I'm ready. I got it for you. Because I want, even if, God forbid, you have to walk away from this relationship, I don't want you to always be walking away and running from responsibility because there is some trauma that you have not dealt with. We want you to deal with that trauma and be able to focus and prepare for what's next steps in your life and not be fearful of making decisions because of past traumas. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, dear DJ, bullet. But to y'all know I hold it down. I have a few more. I'm gonna record at least two more before I go back to work next week because I told you guys I have so much recording to do. Stay tuned. I have a live to do. State my unpopular opinion about some things. Stay tuned. The book club baddies will be meeting on Thursday, and that is going to be lit. Podcast coming soon. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on IG, Book Club Baddies 7. So it's BOOK ClubBaddies and the number 7. Book Club Baddies. Make sure you follow us. We're actually going to be meeting and recording our podcast on Thursday about a book we read that was phenomenal. I'll give all the deets after we meet on Thursday. But make sure you follow us. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you always, let folks know I'm still blinking and clicking. I'm waiting on one more freaking grade from this semester to let you guys know, just FYI and PSA. Bullet. Ah, yes, I'm so proud of myself, but that's another video. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. I love you guys. More Dear Deejahs to come. Happy holidays. The new year's rolling around. Y'all stay tuned.